Hey guys, what's up? So this week it looks like we're about to get intimate, all up in each other's business, maybe get a little experimental. But when it comes to intimacy, it also brings up some of our fears. And so it could get messy, but it could be messy in a good way. We'll see. But I'm here to walk you through the week because it's another astrology and tarot forecast, and it's for the week of Monday, April 4th through Sunday, April 10th. So in this forecast, I'm going to go through each day of the week, the transits for each day of the week, basically like how you're going to feel, what might occur, what might come up or happen, um, and like the mood. So even, like you feel like you're feeling a certain way and you're like, is it just me? Am I going crazy? And you might be, but probably not. It's probably connected to like the, collective energy somewhere, somewhat. And then at the end, after I go through each day of the week, I do a tarot card reading to give you guidance for like situations that might come up. So I look at situations that might come up through the cards, using the cards, and then advice on like, how do we deal with what comes up this week? If you're new to my channel and you don't know me, my name is Valentine Lister. I'm a professional astrologer and tarot card reader. And on this channel, I do this great video every Sunday, this forecast every Sunday. And then I also do videos on tarot as well, astrology, teaching any other spiritual practices that I think are cool, that I think you need to know about. If you want to know more about me, you can go to my website, valentinelister.com, and you can also book readings there as well. I do tarot readings and astrology birth chart reading and forecasting for what's coming up for you. All right, so on Monday, April 4th, we might have this energy of feeling like a bomb has gotten dropped on us. And then there's also this like angsty energy of like wanting to rebel like a teenager, and it being extra intense. So earlier in the day, we have the moon in Taurus and it's making a ton of aspects. So it's kind of like a busy energy, which totally makes sense because we're leading up to a waxing crescent moon in Gemini, and Gemini is super busy. Um, so basically, like the morning, it's like gonna be a tough, well, it might be a tough Monday because we like want what we want. We want to feel pleasure, security. Um, and so there's this tension between like what we want to do versus what we're required to do. And we might have already gotten some like disruptive or bad news, something shocking happening on Sunday. So the day this forecast is coming out, Sunday, April 3rd, I don't know what's happened yet, right? But there was something probably disruptive or shocking, and it affected like our relationships or, like, money, security, things like that. So it's disruptive. So we're still like reeling from that, and like there's this tension. And when we have moon squaring Mars, it gets extra nasty because we have our emotions involved in like asserting ourselves, and that's never pretty. Okay, it's never pretty. So it can feel good to us but pretty harsh to others. But we will get some emotional support from other people. So the moon is making a nice sextile to Jupiter. So we will have emotional support from friends and family or groups of people or people, close to us, but that's not really going to help with um, like the restrictions we feel we have placed on us. And then the moon is going to square Saturn. So it's this real, just feeling like bad, feeling restricted, and then feeling unsupported in another area of life. So it's like this disconnect because we have Jupiter and Pisces giving emotional support, but then as far as like what's actually happening with like I guess like security or laws or ideas, like what people are actually talking about, um and how things are structured, like rules we have to follow, laws we have to follow, really feeling like super restricted and like, can I just enjoy my life? Like, can I just like do what I want to do? And this moon is extra hungry. This Taurus moon early in the day, it's extra hungry. Like we want security, we want pleasure intensely. Like we just want to enjoy ourselves, relationships, money, security, just basic pleasures. Okay, basic pleasures and like food, feeling comfortable, having nice things around us that are pleasant, being able to rest or relax or just like take a freaking breath. Um, and like we're feeling like we're not able to do that, but it's extra like, and we're feeling disillusioned about that. Um, but it's like extra intense because we have the moon co-present with Uranus. So Uranus wanting to break free and be rebellious and just like not want to be bogged down by life, you know? And then we also have the moon co-present with the North Node. So that was like the head of the demon, the North Node. And so it makes this moon extra hungry, extra hungry. And you might actually feel extra hungry with some of these moon transits. I've been feeling like really hungry when it goes into Taurus. It's like this insatiable hunger for comfort, for things to go in a like secure or steady way or a way that feels nice to you and whatever that means to you. And it's almost like insatiable, this insatiable hunger for like pleasure or security. And so, you know, like then later in the day we're feeling, I don't know, like so um we're going to on the one hand be able to deal with things really well. Like there's some hidden information that's brings up some fear or shame for us. And it could be really scary or it's something pleasurable that's shameful or like that we feel not it's not shameful but we feel shame about it or feel fear about it, something along those lines, but it's hidden. But we're able to deal with it when it comes up later in the day. But then we have Mars conjuncting Saturn. And so it's like rules being implemented, like a new start, a new structure, a new foundation. So there's something being implemented that's new, maybe revolutionary, like a new start to things, a new start to um, like how we communicate, our rules, our structures being implemented. And I have a feeling we're pissed about it because the moon is not like jiving with what's happening with this Mars conjuncting Saturn. And then we have the moon squaring Venus. So there's like this push to protect others we're close to, like who we feel are being like alienated, isolated, not treating well, and perhaps like speaking up about that in some way. And there's this also going to be like this extra intensity when it comes to our relationships and how we deal with people, and really having this rebellious energy or like protecting the outsider type of energy because Venus is going to be in those last anaretic degrees of Aquarius. Um, so a lot of friction and feeling unsupported. But then, super late in the day, we have the waxing crescent moon in Gemini. Um, so it's like it starts to feel more lighthearted and playful. But then we're going, okay, so we have this information that we're not too happy with, like a bomb has gotten dropped on us, and we need to move forward. We need to make a decision or like do something with this information. But we're not really sure like what to do, but we know that we like have to move forward and we're thinking about how do we move forward and how do we make things fair? Like there's like I think on Monday like this sense of like feeling like things are unfair, and that we have to like fix the situation or like remedy the situation in some way. And like the nice thing is that on Tuesday, April 5th, like a solution comes through. We start to feel good. We might get a little freaky. It's like, well, what do we do with this information? We experiment. We get freaky the rest of the week. Um, so the reason why I'm saying this is that Venus is going to ingress into Pisces. So there was real tension in our relationships and information we got and feeling restricted on Monday. But that's gonna like ease up and it's going to take on like more of an emotional tone to the week and a connection to others and receptivity to others. So Venus is going into Pisces. Venus is exalted into Pisces. Why? Because um well, there's a lot of reasons, but basically it's like pleasure, center, amazingness, right? So how do we not experience pleasure? Well, we don't experience pleasure when we want something specific to happen, when we have a specific idea of what pleasure is. But Venus in Pisces doesn't necessarily do that, because Venus in Pisces is open and free. It's receptive, it's connective. Like this door opens in our hearts, and we start to see like beauty and experience pleasure from everywhere. And that's going to be super strong, super intense because we have Jupiter, who rules Pisces, with Venus. So this is going to be like an extra nice, like Venus in Pisces season. And so, like when Venus is in Pisces, we're open to things that like we weren't used to. We get experimental. Like taboo subjects become like sacred and special to us. We're like, why did I think that was so taboo? Like, why didn't I explore that? Like, why do I think that's bad? Maybe like let me look into this. Is there some redeeming quality about this thing or this person or this relationship that I didn't see before? And maybe I can dive into the depths and understand it a little more and be more receptive and open-hearted. And it's just this feeling of like people are beautiful, like this, like and like like the flaws in people are beautiful. The emotions people experience, like the depths, like the heights and the lows that people experience are beautiful. And so this starts to become the solution. And it starts to like the week starts to take on a more intimate tone. We start to look at our relationships and our connections a little bit differently. And there really is like this feeling of like we might actually experiment in some way and experiment with pleasure. So this week, if you're single, you haven't been talking to anybody, this is the week to go out and talk to people. Because when we have Pisces energy, that's the energy where you really can just bump into people randomly and connect with people, and they'll understand you. They'll be open and receptive to you. And that's going to be extra, extra, extra. So for the rest of this week, it's a good time to make a love connection. I'm not saying it's going to go smoothly, but it's probably going to be emotionally fulfilling or like exciting or I don't know, or pleasurable in some way. And I have a feeling a lot of us are going to, take that advice because on Wednesday, April 6th, we have a bunch of moon transits, but it's giving me this energy of like we lose ourselves with other people. We almost like overdo it with our connections because we have the moon and it's sextiling the sun. And it's like this chatty, social moon in Gemini that's waxing, right? So it's like more assertive. And then we have that Venus in Pisces squaring the Gemini moon. And so you know, Gemini likes to try new things. It can be a little freaky itself, right? And then we have Venus in Pisces, who's really open to other people, open to trying new things and connecting with people, experimentation. And we have these two come together. And so, really, anything goes. And so, it really is this energy of we like go towards our relationships more intensely and that becomes like the focus. And it's really I looked at this day and it made me think of like Madonna's express yourself. Remember back in the 90s where she was like express yourself, like and it's like, if you want somebody to do something for you that feels pleasurable, you got to let them know exactly what you want and find out what you want. And so like there's this playfulness and there's this deeper intimacy with people, that could be wild and risky, could be kind of like live and let go, like a party type energy. I know I talk about parties. It's not like I go to parties, but it's like the feel of a party. So maybe physically you will go out and celebrate or you'll go on dates, maybe if you're younger. I'm old, I'm 40, married, kids. But it could be also a renewal in like if you're in a relationship or in a marriage, like a deepening of that intimacy or a deepening of your friendships. Um, and so you might overdo it actually, even with connecting with people or socializing or food, money, resources. Like could be like things like overeating, or if you're drinking, over drinking. It could be a lot of those things. And maybe it's too much because then we have the moon squaring Neptune later. And so it kind of gets a little bit like disillusioning. Um, and because we might actually make like social obligations to connect with people and have fun because we have the moon earlier, making a nice sextile to Mercury, which is like this assertive, feisty, Mercury and Aries, just like, let's go, let's just act on it. Let's just like the plan is like we go. And then we have the moon trining Saturn. So that's like nice for like, let's make plans that like feel good and connect with people. And then the moon squaring Jupiter. So extra nice. Um, with like connecting with people emotionally. And this also might be a week where you feel like over emotional, like over connected. But I feel like this is really important because we're going to have that first quarter moon, but then leading up to when we get to the full moon in Libra, like was that the end of next week? It is about like connecting in our relationships and fairness in our relationships and feeling good in our relationships. So I feel like this is like the experimenting phase where like it leads up to that and leads up to something really nice. Okay, so then on Thursday, April 7th, like we're getting feisty and flirty if you haven't yet, but there's more of a like maybe a little more of a feisty energy or an outgoing energy because we have Mercury sextile Saturn. So this makes me think of like making plans, like spontaneous plans to like socialize, celebrate, like party, travel, doing something social and new. Maybe like planning a vacation or spur of the moment getaway or something like that, or just something that's really inspiring, that renews you, that connects you to people. And so sometimes when I'm talking about socializing, you may actually socialize with people, but I know some of us are a little more introverted, so it may just be even like you just have like the like YouTube on more, or music on more, or the TV on more. You just want to hear news, or you just like are like reading a lot, or you just like want to consume information or like technology a lot more. And there's also going to be this nice, the moon is going to ingress into Cancer. And so there's going to be like this nice loving and nurturing and energy in a way that's feisty and flirty because we have the sun is in a whole sign square. It'll be making an exact, when we get to the first quarter moon, but there is this like nurturing energy because the moon is making a nice trine to like Jupiter and Venus. So beautiful, beautiful, like emotionally fulfilling energy. But it's also like feisty, outgoing, flirty because we have that sun and Mercury in Aries. Okay, and then on Friday, April 8th, we might be connecting in a way that's like new and exciting and revolutionary. Because we have Mercury making a sextile to Mars, so I'm thinking about like it's either like we make plans or like assert ourselves in a way that's exciting and new and revolutionary, or maybe like news or communication about people. Um, like making plans or trying something new or asserting something or even like rebelling or fighting in a way that's like revolutionary. It's exciting, it's new, it makes us excited. And like we have Jupiter like sextiling the north node, and that made me think of like get it's like this wild energy, like that's like receptive and open, but there's like a feistiness to it. So I think like leading up to like the first quarter moon tomorrow, there's like this really emotionally fulfilling connective energy, but then we're moving into also like we're really starting to feel this like tension with the feistiness too, which I think is about like some of it is about just working through those like fears in our relationships and can we trust people, and we're open to that. So we'll be connecting with people in a way that's revolutionary, which like connecting with people in ways um, that we haven't done before in a deeper way, and in like I said, an experimental way, or even the way we connect with like pleasure or the way like we're doing things or asserting ourselves. But there is tension, like we're leading up to that first quarter moon, but we also have a Mercury and Venus contra Antisha. So it's like we're gonna feel like this sharp and feisty communication, in attention with being like receptive, open, harmonious, and loving. Like, we're gonna have a tension between being like too forward, being too in each other's faces, versus like wanting to listen, wanting to accept people, wanting to embrace them and connect with people. So Aries energy, like Mars energy, is like kind of can be this like severing energy, which can be very exciting. And then, Pisces energy with Jupiter, it's like, let's like connect, like, let's bring everybody together with like hope and friendship and communication and like harmony, like those nice things. And so this flows right into Saturday, April 9th. And I think that what's going on, is just like this testing our boundaries, really testing our boundaries with ourselves and with other people. Like, we've been held back, we've been restricted for so long, which is like world events, that now that we're having like a sense of more freedom or feeling more free, we're going to test like how far we can go. Like, we've been let out of our cage. So like, how far can we go? But that's probably going to bring up like some fears. So like there is the first quarter moon in Cancer. So that's like early, right? Saturday. So we're probably going to start feeling that Friday. And I mentioned some of that tension, but it's like fighting to do things our way, really protecting ourselves and our sense of security, our ideas, our sense of self, our souls, right? What we find true, versus being open and receptive to others and really connecting with them and like coming together with other people. Like, so there's this tension between both. And so it's like we're gonna have like a strong open, like we're gonna have a strong emotional connection this week to other people. um but then it's like there's a lot of anxiety about it. There's a lot of anxiety about being this open, this intimate with other people. And there's, I think, going to be this sense of like recoiling back. Like, can I open myself? Can I be vulnerable with other people? Can I really trust the good things that are happening now, where I'm seeing people or come together, or I'm seeing myself connect with other people, and it really being more emotionally nurturing and fulfilling? And it's going to be confusing for us. So it's like we might like say things to people that kind of put them off, but then we want to be like close to people. So it's like so this energy of like get real close but no, go away, like get close but go away. So that's like the first quarter moon in Cancer. And it's also like, how far can we go with intimacy and with other people and testing our boundaries? So I think with Cancer energy, there is this real like, you know, wanting to get up all in other people's space and business, and wanting to be like like super intimate, and like kind of I think of Cancer the crab. Like, there is actually the crabs, when they are malting their shells, like actual crabs, which Cancer the crab, the moon. That's how I'm making the connections. Hope you're following, because I go all over the place. But the Cancer the crab goes over, or crabs go over the other crab that is getting rid of its shell and like, I guess, creating a new one. I don't know exactly how it works, right? And so Cancer is like this emotionally protective energy. So it wants to get up in people's spaces, and it's like, how far can I go with like just immersing you and protecting you and just being all up in your space and business? Um, and then we have that in contrast with, we have the sun in Aries. So that's what the first quarter moon is. It's a square from the sun to the moon. And Aries is all about um like the self, like, get away from me if you're going to be too smothering, like, I want to be able to express myself and do what I want and be completely free and separate from each other. So it really is like self versus others, like, come close, no, go away, come close, no, go away, come close, no, go away. The first quarter moon in Cancer. All right, and so that tension, on Sunday, April 10th, might lead to saying things that we regret, or making plans that we regret, because there is this tension and this fear about getting too close to others. And so we have Mercury squaring Pluto. And so it's like information coming up or plans coming up that bring a lot of fears for us. And so, like, we might say things that, like separate people from us, like sever people, like push people away from us, but we don't really want them to go away from us. So we say things that we regret, and we might say them impulsively or without um, thinking them through too much. And like there is this tension and like talk a lot of shit perhaps because Mercury in Aries is in the last degree, the anaretic degree. And so I feel like when I looked at the chart, it's like Mercury in Aries wants to get all of like wants to stir up like as much trouble and talk as much shit as it can before it ingresses into Taurus. Like, let me say all the things that I meant to say that I didn't get a chance to say that I wanted to really say about you. Um, so that's not really that great for relationships. But it also could be good, right? So Pluto has hidden things, shame, fears, hopes, and dreams. So it's anybody's business. Anything can come up, and it could be good stuff, it could be bad stuff, but it's stuff we push down for a reason because there's something about it we're just having trouble accepting. But things will always come up, and the transits help us. So when Mercury is squaring Pluto, again, like, you know, um, yeah, we're going to say things we regret, but it could also be news about something that's innovative or new. That's something that's either scary or something that's really exciting. That's like a dream. So it could go either way. That's just like a general feel that I had looking at that. And then we calm down because Mercury goes into Taurus, but then it's still it would be super chill, but it might take on like that hungry energy still. It might not be as calm as usually Mercury is in Taurus, where it's just trying to like be chill, like have our stuff that comforts us around us that we want. But Mercury in Taurus is going to focus more on like our physical security, our comfort, our pleasure. So it's like at the end of the day, it's going to be Mercury in Taurus is going to be really making these plans or pushing for plans to have like comfort and security and maybe even commitment. Maybe you had a fling or wild night or whatever, and then you're looking for something that's more committed or secure. And then you realize that, you know, after that Mercury ingress, or you may continue with the wildness. It could go either way because that Mercury, again, planets in Taurus are going to be co-present with Uranus, eventually making an aspect with Uranus and then the North Node. So there's a sense of breaking free with like pleasure and really, I don't know. And it also might get freaky because Taurus is being ruled by that Venus in Pisces. So it might be like, oh, whatever. I don't care that I was arguing. Like, let's just get together. Let's go out for dinner. Let's like rest, watch a movie, make love, the nice things in life, the nice things that we enjoy. All right. So I'm going to move on to the reading for the week. And in this reading, I'm going to see what the overall energy of the week, the situations that might come up, why they're coming up, and advice on how to deal with them. It is interesting. So we have the overall energy of the week as the Three of Swords. So it's kind of like this intense, painful heartbreak energy that I wasn't completely expecting. But I guess like early in the week, we got like kind of like a bomb dropped on us with information. And that's what I think like this Saturn, this is like a Saturn and Libra type energy. So Saturn type energy. So, okay. So looking at this card, getting a little more feels about it. It may be also seeing pleasure in pain. Like there is a little bit of a thin line between pleasure and pain this week. And really embracing it, really embracing like the wisdom that restrictions give us, if that makes sense. That does make sense with that Venus and Pisces energy, that freaky energy. Like there's a pleasure in the pain. There's a wisdom that happens. And we're really going to experience that like tangibly, um like something about, yeah, so like really tangibly feeling like um pleasure with pain and restriction, really being able to cry, like I'm seeing like the rain come down, really like letting our emotions come out. And so maybe it's like a release of this pain, of being able to really let it out, in a way that's like controlled. Like, so, the Three of Swords, it's like controlled type energy, restrictive, but it's like we have a space and a place to be really like let out our emotions where it is safe, and to really experience things, I guess, in a deeper way, like, than we have. And so the situations that might come up, we have the sun reversed. Okay. So that's like a major theme for this week. We have that there's a major arcana card, the sun reversed. Um, yeah, so like, like the sun reversed, I'm thinking like, okay, we have our light restricted in some way, but I really don't feel like we're gonna feel like that. Because the image I'm getting is like this child, like really, it's like this opening up. Like it's like this opening up, this sense of freedom, and I'm feeling like it's like an internal freedom. Like a lot of the energy is about our inner life, and that makes sense because there's so much emotional energy happening. So we may not be able to do and say what we want, and like there is some sadness about not being able to express, like, I guess, express ourselves fully, or really be able to like move forward and take action completely in the way that we want. There is some type of restriction, like dampening our life, like we can't move forward, but it's okay. Like we feel this sense of freedom within, and we're feeling open, and like we can move forward. It's just like a state of mind type thing. It's really kind of wacky energy, because like what I am like, it's wacky. I'm getting from this card like pleasure and pain. Like we're just seeing, I guess, the wisdom and the value and the restrictions and the setbacks in life, as well as moving forward. And we're really going to just start learning to embrace, um, where we are, and also like we're the only ones holding ourselves back. Like maybe it's that too. It's like not so much external things happening, but there's a sense that we've held ourselves back. And what is that about? Like, and what's that about? Like looking within, finding what that is. Like, what is it about ourselves? What's going on in our hearts, in our souls, in our spirits, that's causing us to really like keep ourselves in a cage? Like we might see a door opening and then we're not going through because we really like our cage, and we like, having, I don't know, the chains on us, and like, so to speak, because there is a security, right? If even if you're being like oppressed in some way, or like you have a job that's too rigid or something, at least you know like what you're getting, and at least you know like what the boundaries are. But when you go out that door to freedom, you don't really know. And so it's really like taking time to explore that, and like, how much am I holding myself back? How much do I want to be held back? Um, and just like what's the lesson in that, is big energy. Um, yeah, and so why is that coming up? We have the 10 of Swords reversed. Taking on too much for ourselves, like overthinking things. I think it's like we've been taking on too much, and yeah, like it's real simple. We've just been taking on too much, and we got to let go. We've been thinking too much, like overthinking the things, like being too much in our head. And that's basically what's being held back. Like we're being held back by our minds and our fears and our worries. But and the nice thing I'm seeing is that we're not just ready to like just push forward or push past it and be like, who cares about my fears? I'm just gonna do it. There's a sense of like, I want to understand like what my fears have been about when it comes to my life, like when it comes to pleasure, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to my job, when it comes to money, when it comes to my kids, when it comes to like comforting myself or being there for myself, or connecting with people. Like maybe, like for me personally, I was bullied when I was little. So, even though now I make friends pretty easily and I'm pretty secure in that, I still have trouble like deeply connecting with people because there's still a fear there. And so for you, um, what that fear or what's holding you back yourself. And it's about really like it's about understanding that. It's about like sitting with that and not like pushing forward too fast, but understanding it. So when it comes up, you go, oh, okay, that's what it's about. And you can make a conscious decision to connect in a relationship, to stay at a job or leave at a job consciously, like with your adult self, the mature self that makes decisions, not the scared child that's within that's like, somebody help me and take care of this. You're, coming from that place of like where you're an adult and you go, okay, I am going to take care of this. I can handle this shit. I'm going to be okay. um yeah, so like this is, I feel like, an important week for really understanding ourselves and our connections with other people and our boundaries and our fears, and really nice energy of like sitting with it so that we can really understand it, and honor those fears, honor those energies, honor like the stuff that's been holding us back, and really going, okay, well, what are you trying to say to me? Like, what do you want me to know? Um, yeah. And so the advice for the week, we got the Queen of Pentacles. The advice for the week is to connect with people, is to connect and move forward, um, to connect and feel secure. I guess also to connect and know that you will be able to handle things. Like you don't have to be so afraid anymore. And that connecting with other people will ground you. So, like, you will be able this week to make connections, to have support from other people. We not only have Jupiter in Pisces now, but now we have Venus in Pisces. Amazing. So much emotional support from other people. Like even if you don't have any friends, I swear, if you go out or you go somewhere on a forum or somewhere, you might get some nasty energy with that Mars and Saturn in Aquarius, but there's going to be like real support, real understanding for your situation in life. Um, and people that, and just being able to connect with people will ground you because it's going to be a super emotional week. It's going to bring up a lot of pain. We have that Three of Swords energy. And even though we might find pleasure and wisdom in it, it's still painful, or it's still emotional, super emotional week. And so connecting with other people will help to ground you and center you and to know what to do. And really will be super pleasurable and super fun. And yeah, and really freeing. And yeah, I mean, I think it's essential to just like to just talk to other people, connect with other people, to keep ourselves grounded, because we're gonna be pretty emotional this week, is like my feel for it thus far. And then, yeah, and then the outcome for the week. Interesting. Yeah, we're just gonna sit. We're just gonna like, sorry. It's gonna be I feel like it's gonna be a super pleasurable and exciting week, but it's a week where we're sitting with the energy. We have to sit with ourselves. We have to understand ourselves and our bodies and our emotions, and our connections with people. Because we have this Seven of Pentacles reversed, and yeah, so just like at the end of the week, like we're still going to be sitting with this feeling of like wanting security, but not necessarily having it. We're not where we want to be. And I mean, I'm not really sure if there's like anywhere in life like where we really want to be. Like I don't know if there's a point in life you get to where like you stop feeling your feelings. Like even, I mean, I think even people who in this like enlightened state, they come to the point where they go, oh, okay, my emotions and my mind are always going to be crazy all the time, because our bodies, our minds, our emotions. It's like the weather. So you start to just experience it like the weather, like, oh, okay, all right, these are painful emotions. These come up when you know, like when I have a Moon Mars transit. That's how I'm starting to get. Like, when this transit comes up, like I just know I'm gonna be feel bad, or I know I'm gonna feel good this way, and I know there's just gonna be ups and downs, right? Um, yeah, and so there might be a feeling of stuckness, but it's a stuckness that I think is important to embrace, and I think we may be able to do that and really feel like, okay, it's okay where I am. It's okay where I am. I don't really need to move forward now. I need to just stay with where I am, understand it, so that I can make like that I can have a solid grounds for the future. Um, that I can have emotional security, but also this feeling of even like physical security needs time. We need time to reflect on like what has been holding us back, and if it's our emotions holding us back, or physical circumstances holding us back, it doesn't really matter. But there's this sense that there is this like inner work that we need to be doing. Like there's an inner work that we need to be doing and sitting and staying with. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be harsh. We're going to overthink it and worry maybe, or we have been. But we're going to be free in the sense that we're okay with our restrictions. Um, we're feeling a sense of emotional fulfillment and connection, even like amidst any restrictions, whether those restrictions are ones that we're putting on ourselves or the outside world is putting on us. It really is like moving past this. I feel like this is super like trippy and meta, like kind of energy. We have like that Neptune with Venus and Jupiter there too. Um, yeah, it's like almost this like sense of stuckness, but not stuckness. It's this feeling of the universe going, stop, stay here, really listen. Listen, get grounded in your body. Listen. This is really important. So just really tuning into your body, like listening to the messages, and then reflecting and connecting with other people, because other people are going through similar things as you. I mean, that's one thing I love about doing these collective readings and astrology, is that it doesn't just tell you about you. You are important, right? It's important to know like I think it's important to know for yourself, like your own growth, like what's happening. But the nice thing is that the astrology shows us that everybody is going through like a similar thing, and it just looks differently. And of course, like some people are going to have better experiences than others, because it just hits people differently, right? We all have planets, we all have a different chart, and things hit us differently. So, some people's lows are other people's highs, but there's still a theme of like we're all going in it together. So that person that's having that high moment, it might just be that they're able to like handle that particular thing better just because of like their background and all that stuff. So I think enjoy this week, have fun like every week, and I'm really excited to just hear about if there are like any lessons or like insights you have about your relationships, emotional life, just where you are in your life. I'm curious to see what comes up for you, so leave a comment if something does. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the camera over to the cards so that you can reflect on them more. Hey guys, here's an image of the cards for today. So all the way to the left is the overall energy of the week, and that is the Three of Swords. And then the second to the left is the card for situations that may come up this week, and that is the Sun reversed. The third card in the middle is why that situation is coming up, and that's the Ten of Swords reversed. And then the fourth card from the left is the advice for the week, and that's the Queen of Pentacles. And then the last card is the outcome for the week. And that is the Seven of Pentacles reversed. All right, guys, have a great week. If you love this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, share this video out. And at the end, I'm also going to throw up some videos that sounded gross, but I'm going to throw some videos there that I think you'll want to watch next, that I think you'll like. And if you want to like reflect on these cards without me talking, make sure to pause the video so that you can take more time to see what the cards are saying to you. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video every single week.